where that is. I didn't know until we went out there. But we welcome you here to the Coaches Show. We'll be here every Tuesday night from 7 o'clock on. We'll broadcast it live here from Uccello's. You can join us here in person, or you can watch at home on the Davenport social media networks, as you know that. But it was an exciting win over Truman State by a single point, 20-19. The head coach, Sparky McEwen, is here joining us right now. And, Coach, it was a long weekend. It was a long trip. It was a long game. But in the end, you got what you wanted, the W to come home with.
Wow, the boys played well. We're so proud of them. And just from the way that they handled the trip, we took off here on Thursday. It's a long bus ride there. And just from the hydration period, we felt like we actually handled the heat a little better than our opponent because they went down with more.
They had a lot more guys go down with the cramps.
Yeah, we did a pretty good job there. So proud of them and our training staff. And just the kids, period. They've had a lot on their plate, and to see those kids persevere and beat a really good football team says a lot about where we're at this early in the season.
Going back and looking at the game first, reflecting on the game at Truman State, you were so close to putting a major gap. Probably too early to say you'd put it away, but you would have been awful close to it. They get the ball. You stuff them. 3 and out, get the ball, march down and score. They get the ball back. You stuff them again. 3 and out. You march down and score another touchdown. They get the ball, you stuff them again. Start at their own 40, but then in the next 75 seconds, there's 2 fumbles you lose, and just like that, it's 14-30. But if you are able to march down that third time, you got to think they'd have been a world of hurt because they're very much a running team. They're not built to throw and come from behind like that. 3 scores.
Going into that game, we knew that there was going to be some peaks and valleys, and we talked about it. And we had some personnel issues. We had some personnel issues in that game where I contributed that to coaching. It was things that we did on our end that I felt like we didn't help our situation out. Ourselves out, and it put us in a tough situation, and to the kids' credit, they bailed us out. My coaches know that they're held to a high standard, and the expectations is that we put kids in position to be successful. And once we got it going again, I felt comfortable with the direction we were headed, and the boys, they played well.
They really did, and you had to feel. It was frustrating the way you dominated in the entire third quarter. From the third quarter and the early part of the fourth quarter, you had 4 possessions. All 4 got into Truman State territory. You came away with no points, and that would have been awful easy to bow your head and just say I guess it's not our day. But they kept fighting and eventually pulled it out at the end.
When you're going against a team of that nature that's used to big games, they've won bowl games, they played in championship games. They're picked to play against possibly the champion from the last 2 years in Indianapolis, and there's a lot of expectations from that group over there. And I just truly felt that our kids did not hear any of the noise. They didn't hear any of the noise, and we knew it was going to be a game of peaks and valleys. And to see them fight through the turnovers, to see them fight through some of the heat issues, I couldn't be more proud of those guys because they understand that on a season like this, these are the things that can happen. And being a young team, we knew going in that we're going to have some of those times where we had some lulls, during the game. And it happened, but just to see them fight back, I couldn't be more proud of those guys.
Although you didn't win the time of possession battle, you did win overall yards, which is probably more important, 285 to 235. You threw the ball for 180 yards. Hold on, where is it? Total offense 285 to 235. Yeah, you threw for 243 to 148 for them, over 100-yard difference there.
Yeah, they're going to make it tough to run, and we knew that going in just based on their history and their coaching staff and the way that they operate. They play the game the way you want it to be played, and they made it tough on us. But our game plan was to go in there with one of our captains running the football, Khalif. And we knew that Khalif at 260 pounds was going to physically potentially wear them down in the heat and with his running style. So the number of yards that he carried the football, I wouldn't look at the number of yards as I would the attempts, because you have to come down and tackle a massive man. And, our offensive line, my hat goes off to them. Those guys played well because that defensive line that we were going to face, it's like running into a brick wall, so.
One of the better ones you'll face all year, you think?
Yes, and it's funny because in talking with Cy, we were just talking about Truman, because he's played practically every tough team in the country, coming from Ferris State when they've made all their playoff runs, and Cy said that was one of the better defenses that he had seen. So like I said, I couldn't be more proud of my boys, man. I'm telling you, to go down there in their backyard and fight the way we did, win, lose, or draw, we just wanted to go in there and we just wanted to scrap, and that happened. And we were fortunate. We were very fortunate to come away with the W.
You mentioned Cy. That's Cy Barnett, newcomer, transfer from Ferris State, who had a phenomenal game. In fact, he was just named earlier today the GLIAC Special Teams Player of the Week. We'll tell you about that, why. He's going to join us later. Peyton Mitchell, who was your leading tackler on defense, is going to join us as well. They all performed as well. You mentioned Khalif the Beef Jenkins, as we call him affectionately, and he likes that nickname, by the way. He took one in a goal-to-go situation,
yeah, he did.
And he plowed through a couple of guys. And I tell you what, we talked about it the last couple years. One guy's usually not going to get him on the ground.
No, they're not. We met as a staff, and we talked about that. Like I said, going in, we talked about the heat. We talked about them having to, tussle with him the entire game. We just wanted a physical affair, and obviously, Khalif the Beef, he's going to bring it every time he touches it.
Punting was a situation that was a factor in the game, and none bigger than when Cy Barnett, as we said, your newcomer, not only did he score a touchdown the first time he touched the football as a Panther on offense, he also set a school record with a monstrous 75-yard punt that flipped the field. A key play late in the fourth quarter allowed you to keep them down there. Eventually, when you got it back, you didn't have as far to go, and that punt was just incredible.
There were so many key points in that game, and that to date will be the biggest, key point. When we flip the field, and Rick, this. There's a stat right now that we're playing with two of the GLIAC's all-conference punters.
Yeah.
Cy Barnett, he's been a special team all-GLIAC guy, as a kicker or a punter, one of the two. And then, we got our own. He was second team.
Kyle
Wo. So, we were able to utilize a scheme that, that I picked up while, I had my time there with Tony. And, man, he kind of mastered that two-punter system. And I've learned it there, under his tutelage, and it worked, it worked for us.
And I should mention this, Coach, that punt came with almost no wind whatsoever. There was, sometimes you see these 60, 70-yard punts, and there's a monstrous wind behind the punter, and it takes a weird hop and rolls forever. There was almost no breeze there at all to help that.
Yeah, Cy has a tremendously strong leg, and he, when he punts in practice, on average, it's there about 65 yards. So having him in that phase of the game as a weapon, and having Kyle, now having both, the top two punters, in our conference on our same team, that's huge for us. So now it gives us a chance to win in all three phases of the game. And, both those guys are weapons. Kyle did a heck of a job for us last year in, becoming the all-GLIAC second-team punter. And now, he gets a team up with a guy that has, more experience than him that can continue to help him. So both those guys are having fun with it. And, man, we got more, to come out of that group with the next 9 games.
Speaking of both those guys, you told me before the game that might very well see both quarterbacks, your two new quarterbacks, and boy, I tell you what, you've been beaming about them all summer long. Johnny Saavedra from California, and of course Jason Whitaker, the Grand Rapids area native who played at Northwestern and graduated from Northwestern. They both played, they both performed, they both threw a touchdown pass. And I tell you what, you got to like your chances. When you love to have one good quarterback, you got two right now in the saddle.
My office right now, I coach the quarterbacks. I'm having fun. Both of them, they really like each other. They're great teammates. That room is amazing. There's nothing fake about it. They're competitive, and they want to see each other succeed. And, Johnny, I call him Johnny Football, and he came out of spring, and he played extremely well. He graded out at 90% as a transfer. And we didn't get J-Dub until, in June. He had to graduate from Northwestern. Once he graduated, he was set to come to us. And he's still learning our system, and he's doing a heck of a job because he came in that game, and pretty much, won the game at the end. Did a great job, showed tremendous poise and patience, and the things that you look for in your signal caller.
And I want to mention something that you, as a former cerebral quarterback, you were not only talented, but you were the thinking person's quarterback. Johnny did something that I just was beaming over in the broadcast that quarterbacks don't do enough. Twice in that game, he drew the defense offside. He knew he had a free play. What quarterbacks usually do in that situation, they just throw the ball as far as they can. If you get the home run bomb, which they usually don't, fine, then you come back, take the 5 yards. He threw a jump ball situation to Preston, who was a terrific athlete, and he just went up and got it twice.
I think it was 2 or 3 times that it happened, and we've been working on this, and that's been in our toolkit, since I've arrived there, at DU. And the thing about it is, just give the guys a shot. We got a 6'4", receiver there. Give him a shot, and he's extremely accurate, Johnny is, and Johnny just put it there. Both those kids are extremely accurate throwers of the ball. And he just put it up there, and he went up and made the play he was supposed to make, and we knew we were going against a very intense, defensive line, and it was going to be difficult for us to stop them. So we need to slow the game down a little bit and do some different things, mentally, to try to win that football game.
Well, you brought a couple of your players, Peyton Mitchell and of course, Cy Barnett. We will talk with one of them. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with more. You'll be back to join us a little bit later in the program as the Davenport Coaches Show continues live from Uccello's in Caledonia. Stay with us.
West Michigan homebuyers, if you're considering lenders, please contact Mario Flores at 231-638-0200 at Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lake Shore. It's a wonderful time to be in the market for a mortgage when you choose Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lake Shore. Van Dyke's loan experts know how to help you prepare and help you get approved. Don't wait for the market to be perfect. Start your planning with Mario Flores, branch manager at Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lake Shore.
Mario Flores, NMLS number 135862. Van Dyke Mortgage Corporation, Corp. NMLS number 3035. 231-638-0200. MarioFlores.VanDykeMortgage.com. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
And we welcome you back to the Davenport Coaches Show live from Uccello's, Caledonia, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. That's where you want to be, either here in person or tune us in on the social media sites for Davenport football. Davenport coming off an exciting and dramatic 20-19 win, a winning touchdown that you get to hear in just a little bit. As they scored with just 2:11 to go to take the lead and secure the victory right now. But right now, we're going to talk a little bit on the defensive side as Peyton Mitchell joins us right now. Boy, outstanding game as he was the leading tackler in the contest. Peyton joins us, a California native from Aptos, Am I saying that right, Aptos?
Aptos. So I'm born and raised in Gilroy, but yeah, that's where I played at my community colleges in Aptos, yeah.
In Aptos, okay. All right, born and raised in Gilroy, California. Tell us where that is and what kind of town it is.
Oh, so it's a small little city right in the Bay Area, a little inland. A lot of fun. Hard to explain it. One thing it's known for, it's the garlic capital of the world, fun fact.
The garlic capital of the world.
We got a little garlic festival every year that we put on. Big old thing.
All right, that sounds like fun. Tell us about your high school playing days and how that prepared you for college ball and what you remember about your high school days.
High school was a lot of fun. I remember, for me, it taught me how to kind of push through and grind. My first 2 years on varsity, my sophomore and my junior year, I remember we were, I think, a 3-win team and then a one-win team my junior year. And so that was tough, and I'm born and raised football, and football's everything, so there was no question whether to quit or anything like that, but it was just tough to see those 2 seasons. And then my senior year, I remember that's when I was kind of given the reins and taking over as a leader and a captain. And I remember pushing other guys and getting everyone to show up to summer workouts and all that stuff. And then At the end of that season, we actually won a CCS championship, which is like the league championship down there for our division, which was a lot of fun.
And you were a Gold Coast All-Conference selection there in California.
Yep.
Then how did you end up at Davenport? That's a long way from home, Peyton.
Yeah. So I did 2 years at Cabrillo Community College down there. Met a lot of good people and actually learned a lot on how to play sport and stuff like that. And loved my time there. And then I actually was recruited by Davenport out of there, but I don't think, I remember Coach Walker didn't recruit me that way. I don't think he liked me that much. But then transferred to Azusa Pacific and then was there for a semester, and then they cut the football program after my first semester there. So at that point, I'm kind of scrambling. I remember I text Coach Walker. I'm like, hey, I remember you recruited me a little bit. I'm looking for a school. He got together, looked at my film, shot me an offer, and now I'm out in Michigan.
Well, he's liking you now, I guarantee you, as all Panther fans. I want to ask you a little something I asked Marky about. It was kind of frustrating how you guys, especially on the defense and offense, both sides of the ball played so well for the first quarter, dominating on both ends. You had a 13-0 lead, stuffed them, got the ball back, and boom, just like that, a fumble, a touchdown, kickoff, fumble, touchdown again, and it seemed like in an eyelash, everything you'd done for over a quarter was gone. You were behind 14-13.
Yeah, that's tough, but that's how the game's played, and that's how it always ends up. I remember on the sideline after our first touchdown, after our second touchdown, I'm yelling at everyone, calm down now. Like, this is not how the game's going to go. We're not just going to blow these guys out. They're a great team, and they're fighting hard. So I knew it wasn't going to be easy sailing the whole time. So I'm telling everyone, like, don't get too high. Let's level set of intensity, as my dad always told me. And, stuff happens, but at the end of the day, you need to rally together as a team. And at the end of the day, we were only down 6 after that big run they had, and this game's still in our hands. It's one touchdown away from us taking over, and that's what happened.
I want to ask you, from a player standpoint, 2 big defensive plays in that fourth quarter. The first one came when, again, they had ground out a couple of first downs that looked like it was really going to hurt us. They were started at their own 5, and they ground out a couple first downs. The clock was against us, but someone forced a fumble, recovered it. I never found out who recovered that fumble to get you the ball back in their territory.
Yeah, so we don't know either. I remember after the game, and on the sideline, we're all yelling. You're like, great play, who did it? Everyone's like, I don't know. We just know it came out. It was a big pile. I remember J-Rob came around, got him by the ankle, and as he's going down, there's just a pile came in, and guys started tackling him, and then ball spewed out, and someone landed on it.
And then when they got the ball the second to the last time, when it looked like that was their last realistic chance, Darren Cotton, a big pick that really put him in a world of hurt. That was a huge play by Cotton.
Huge play. I remember that one. It was like took my breath away. Like, I was so excited. I remember because it was just a long drive and such a grinded out, and we were just waiting for us to catch a break, really. And then finally it happened. It was like finally the momentum switched over, and we were back in it.
All right, Peyton, you're majoring in medical case management. What do you hope to do with that degree?
Yeah, I hope to get my master's in occupational therapy after, because that's kind of more like physical therapy, more in a hospital. So I'm just more interested in that and kind of helping people and helping the community and stuff like that.
You want to go back to California with that, or do you want to stick around here? Or are you willing to go anywhere?
I don't know. I've been liking Michigan, but I'm kind of wherever God takes me.
Well, great to hear that, and we're glad that we've got you here. We're going to enjoy it. You've just got 1 year left, right? This is it. So we hope for more good things. We got off to a great start. Look forward to seeing you out there, number 22, out there on defense, making more tackles. Again, congratulations on a nice win, and we'll see more from you in the future.
Awesome, yeah.
Peyton Mitchell will take a timeout. We will come back and visit with another player. The GLIAC Special Teams Player of the Week, in fact, is going to join us. Cy Barnett with an outstanding game, so stay with us. Back with more here on the Davenport Coaches Show, live from Uccello's in Caledonia.
Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lakeshore's commitment to finding the right home loan for you is second to none. The experienced licensed team at Van Dyke on the Lakeshore will work hard to give you a smooth and timely mortgage process from application to closing. Mario Flores, branch manager, Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lakeshore, has access to a full range of mortgage products so that you get the right loan with a great rate, the terms you're looking for, and costs to meet your unique needs. Call Mario Flores at 231-638-0200 today and experience the Van Dyke Mortgage difference.
Mario Flores, NMLS 135862, Van Dyke Mortgage Corporation, Corp NMLS 3035, 231-638-0200, marioflores.vandykemortgage.com. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Down and 5 is
The down means nothing. It's third down, 5 seconds to go. Hare's got 2 receivers right, 1 left. Third and 1 for Davenport at the 5-yard line. Trying to take the lead. Whitaker takes it, fakes it, fires it on the flat. Caught at the 5, to the 2, to the 1. Touchdown Davenport! Cy Barnett into the end zone for his second score as a Panther. And DU is tied it at 19 with 2:11 to go in the fourth quarter. And that was turned out to be the winning points after the PAT was added. Cy Barnett, his first game as a Davenport Panther, joins us right now. Had some terrific years at Ferris State against us as well as the rest of the GLIAC, but now he's on our side playing. Cy, we mentioned earlier, we were talking with Sparky about your monstrous punting on Saturday, including the school record 75-yarder, 2 touchdowns. I don't know that your debut as a Panther could have gone much better.
Yeah, it was great being out there again. I'm blessed to be out here playing, for Davenport this season. And, to have a game where we go out and beat the team who beat us last year and beat them pretty good. I mean, statistically, we had a really great game. The offense came through at the end, and our defense obviously played incredible. We shut them out the entire second half. So it was collectively a great team win. And to move forward throughout the whole rest of the season, we're really looking forward to the next week. We have this bye, and then obviously Northern's coming to Grand Rapids. And
how about this? The first time you touch the ball as a Panther, you end up in the end zone. That was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. I think it was the second time.
Oh, was it? So you caught a pass before that?
I had a catch earlier in the drive.
That's right. Okay.
And then, that was pretty cool.
Early on, getting that certainly, I'm not sure you had any butterflies, but if you did, they were gone by that time.
Yeah. We put in that play strictly for this week.
Tell us about the play.
So it was a rub type of scheme where the outside receiver was going to go run a fade, and then I was slipping underneath them, and we looked on film. The coach has set us up for success, with watching how they played us last year, and we're like, there's no way they're going to be able to stop this for this upcoming game. So obviously we pulled it out of our bag of tricks right from the beginning. So that definitely was pretty cool.
Cy Barnett from Williamston, Michigan, and we have to ask the question because people are asking, and you knew it was going to come. But you played for Ferris State, won multiple conference titles and a national championship. How did you end up here at Davenport?
So it's funny that you say that. So when I was a senior in high school, obviously the recruiting board was open to wherever I was going, and Sparky, when he was coaching at Ferris, he was one of the main guys that was recruiting me, and he was a big part of the reason of me going to Ferris. I love just the way he talked to me and how he wanted to set me up for success. So it was kind of an easy decision for me when I decided that I wanted to go and play another year of college football. That I wanted to go play with Sparky for my last season.
And for coming in, you're coming in with you saw both quarterbacks play. You caught a touchdown pass from both. You got 2 really good guys that can sling it at QB here.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
You're going to find a way to get them both out there at the same time? Have you worked on any plays for that?
Yeah, I think we put in a couple of trick plays where we throw it a couple times back and forth, and then next thing you know, one of them chucks it deep.
But do they? I know quarterbacks sometimes throw different kinds of ball. Is there a difference in the kinds of ball that Jason and Johnny throw, or at all?
They both have their strengths and weaknesses, but I truly think they're both great quarterbacks. I haven't really had a great passing quarterback within the past couple of years, so having 2 guys who can sling it. I mean, Johnny's coming from a JUCO, and then Jason's coming from Northwestern, and he's a Michigan guy and a California guy. They both can sling it pretty well.
Tell us about what it was like coming in. And now you didn't just have to adjust to a new football program, but you had all brand new teammates, and you didn't have a tremendous amount of time to get to know them. How did you work that out?
That was my biggest fear. Obviously, coming in middle of camp, it didn't help with team chemistry. I knew that coming in. So really just showing them how hard I work and trying to help them as much as I can is probably the biggest thing of me trying to earn their respect. You know, obviously the locker room is the big thing in my opinion, and being able to show the type of person I am to those guys as fast as I could to try to catch up with where everyone was at definitely played a big part. So, yeah.
You mentioned with all the the titles that you were part of at Fair State. Is there something that you think you can bring to this team in terms of a winning mentality, or is that just something that teams have to find on their own year to year?
I think a little bit of both. You know, each team has their own thing that makes it work. You know, so it's just trying to find our identity, and obviously we showed that we can go out and play some football. But there was also times where we kind of struggled in a couple of aspects. So it's really coming together and, you know, working as a team and finding that identity and going out and excelling at what we want to accomplish.
Well, again, the special teams are a big part of your game. I mentioned the GLIAC Special Teams Player of the Week name this week. How does that work in terms of your practice time? Is there some times where you wish you had a little more time for kicking, or maybe a little more time for offense, or is it balanced out pretty well?
It's balanced out pretty well. So honestly, for me, this is my 6th year of college, my 4th year of playing football for actual playing, and it's also my last. So the more I can be in whatever I can be, or, you know, just out there playing football, and you never know, this could be my last time I suit up. You never know. So taking all the opportunities that I get is just a blessing. And obviously I do a lot of stuff off the practice field, so doing stuff on my own to get myself prepared for the Saturday games.
You got your graduate degree in marketing, correct?
Yep.
So what are you getting your master's in, or is that going to stay in the marketing area?
Yeah, so it's actually changing a little bit. So in the spring, I took all football off, and I did a little bit of coaching. So
Where did you coach at?
So I actually coached with my old high school basketball coach up in Reed City. I was helping out with an assistant job up there and just helping them, you know, learn and grow as basketball players, and I thought that was something that interests me. So I'm actually getting my grad programs is urban education leadership. So hopefully one day I can kind of, you know, use that in the aspect of being able to get into a school system and help coach, and that's definitely something I've been super passionate about.
So do you see yourself, if you're coaching, do you see yourself coaching football or basketball more at this point right now?
You know, I'm a big football guy,
yeah,
but I also am a very big basketball guy, and a lot of people know that from back home. I grew up playing basketball. I didn't start really playing football until late middle school, and then I only played a couple years in high school. So I've always been a big basketball guy. I love the sport of basketball, and I don't know. I think I could do either one.
Got to ask you, it's your first time probably to Uccello's here, at least. So you enjoying some of the food here, huh?
Oh, yeah, we have some pizza over there. It's pretty dang good. So
well, let me get you back to that. Hey, Cy, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Congrats on being the GLIAC Special Teams Player of the Week. We're going to take one more break, come back with Sparky McEwen. Stay with us here on the Davenport Coaches Show, live from Uccello's in Caledonia. And we welcome you back. The Davenport Coaches Show coming to you Tuesday nights at 7 here. No Panther home game this Saturday, no game period, as they've got week 2 off, but then 3 consecutive home games. 2 weeks, a week from Saturday the 17th, 2 weeks from Saturday the 24th, and then Saturday, October 1st, 3 consecutive home games. Sparky McEwen, head coach, joins us right now. Sparky, this is normally the time where we start previewing your opponent this week. You don't have an opponent this week, so what does that change for your practice schedule and what you're hoping to accomplish this week?
we knew going in it was going to be a very physical battle, and it's kind of timely that we had the bye in our schedule for week 2. We gave the boys, just so you know the schedule, we gave the boys Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off. We go back to work on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and then obviously they'll be back the following week and game preparation for our opponent. So we'll go in and we'll clean up things that that we had some miscues during the ball game, and we had some ball security issues we need to clean up. We had some poor reads on some other things, and fits weren't good in other areas. So we got things to clean up, and then obviously continue to work on our conditioning. We had the chiropractors in and got extra treatment just to get the boys ready for a very tough Northern Michigan University team.
You mentioned the chiropractor. Is that a regular thing, or just in special situations that you'll bring a chiropractor in?
No, it's regular. We try to get our boys in. The biggest thing is, when I coach professionally for those 13 years, is chiropractors are part of our regular regiment, and I've continued that as a collegiate coach, and getting someone in there to work on these boys' bodies and to get them prepared, for the next game. It works wonders, whether it's your back or whether it's just alignment, ankles, limbs, neck. Get adjusted. We try to prepare our boys and give our boys all the tools necessary to be successful.
You wouldn't have put guys out there Saturday if you didn't think they could do the job, whether it was in a starting or in a backup role. But give us one or two guys that you thought maybe really raised their game from what maybe they had shown in practice prior to Saturday. You said these guys took a step up.
Well, the biggest one right now is Whitaker. When he came in,
Jason Whitaker,
he was thrust into duty, and like I was saying, he came in June, and man, we threw the entire playbook at him, and he went in a tough situation, and he performed, to a high standard, and then
comes in the fourth quarter down a touchdown,
and then the gentleman that you just had up here, Cy, Cy, he started, he came in and he worked through the night, and he learned not only the outside position, he learned the slot. And I've never had a football player come in and learn our system, our scheme, the way that he did in that short period of time. And he graded out extremely well with that, So very, very, thankful for both those guys coming in. And you got one that played in the Big Ten, another one that played for the national champions. They're coming from programs, and cultures that understand that takes a certain standard in order to be successful. So coming into our place and just welcoming both those guys and learning our system says a lot about the character of those men.
Well, Sparky, it's great to be back at Uccello's. I know you appreciate that.
Oh, man, it's been too long. I'm glad we're back. And, the last couple of years has just been tough, with the pandemic and everything, Rick. And you and I have talked often. And I'm excited for our kids. Our kids started school, today. And, so now another thing about the bye week is that the boys get to go to class and not worry so much about football. And then we'll get football back on our radar next week.
All right. And speaking of next week, we'll be right back here next week where we will preview the game against Northern Michigan a week from Saturday at home. Again, Davenport home the next 3 Saturdays after this Saturday. Make your plans. Get out there Saturday the 17th at noon, the 24th at 2 o'clock, and then October 1st back at noon again. We're back here again next week, so thanks for joining us. Thanks, everybody here. Spencer and the gang at Uccello's. Our wonderful waitress, Brittany, takes fantastic care of us. So for head coach Sparky McEwen, this is Rick Berkey saying thanks for joining us, and go Panthers.